Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to talk about how to utilize a notebook as a planner, create sections in it, and using it for the entire year. I know it may be intimidating when you have a blank notebook staring at you and it's just looking at you to be creative with it, and this is going to help you to get the ideas flowing and give you an easy process of setting it up and making sure that you have what you need and you can have sections for whatever you need to plan in your daily life. So for the notebook that I'm using, I'm going to use a Wonderland 222 notebook. This is just to show the process. I have a blank note page, and then I also have some post-it notes, sticky notes, whatever. So the first thing you want to understand is how many pages are in your notebook. This one is numbered and it's 365. A lot of them may not be numbered, but whoever you're buying it from will list the number of pages. And based on how your lifestyle is, you can determine whether or not a notebook of 365 may or may not work for you. Maybe you need two, maybe you need to set up one for half the year, maybe you need to set up one for a second part of the year. I have a pretty busy life. I have a 9 to 5, I have a business, I have kids that are active, I have health issues that I track, I journal, I memory plan, and it all fits in here. So I say that it absolutely is possible. This is a notebook, 365 pages. All right, so we're using the Wonderland notebook, or whatever notebook you're using. We have 365. We need to now think about, what do we need in this notebook? Let's say if you're coming from a ring bound planner, or even like a happy planner or something where you didn't have to put it together in a notebook, and you have like one, this is my chance to make it work. Don't want to make any mistakes. I don't want to miss anything out. You're going to start a brain dump, and your brain dump is basically going to list everything that you are going to need in this planner. So you're going to need a section to plan ahead. This section is usually called the future log, and the future log is essential to use in a notebook because you have you don't have a place to plan for future appointments and things like that, because there's no dates in it. It's just a blank notebook. So where are you going to write your future appointments? So this is why you create something that's called a future log. So the future log can be broken down depending on however you want to have your future log. So you can do January, February, March, April, May, June, or January, February, March, April, May, June. Flip the pages and do the other 6 months. It's up to you. We're going to say we need that future log because I need to track future dates. So the most important thing that I need in here is a future log. I'm not going to go crazy with the sections. This is going to be pretty generic that most people require in a planner. And then you add and tailor it to however you want. Okay, other than the future log, my personal life, let's say you are a parent. So I need a section to write things down about my kids. So this kids section could be kids notes, and it could be just things that you need to keep track of, like their sports that they're in, their schedule for school, teachers' names, teacher contact information, and things like that. And then after this, we're just keeping the ideas going. What do I need? I like to have a master grocery list. So let's say you buy certain things all the time and you want a reference to it. If you have this in a previous planner and it worked, or if you didn't have it and you want to try it out, this is a good opportunity. I want to track future projects. I just bought a house and I want to be able to jot down some ideas and plans to do some renovation. Future projects could be personal projects, could be home projects, whatever you want. I need to track my bills. I need to keep track of all the bills, and I need to keep track of my savings. Maybe you want a savings tracker. And I also want a tracker to pay off my debt. It doesn't matter if I'm going from different category to category, because this is like finance and this is like family and home and stuff like that. This is fine. Just get it all out of your head as they come to your head. I want a list of self-care things. If you've had these sections in a previous planner and you never use them, don't put them in the notebook. You're just going to waste the pages. If you had them before and you use them, by all means, put them down on paper and make it in your new setup. If you have health conditions and you want to keep track of your symptoms, I like to keep track of my symptoms because sometimes I forget when I go to the doctor, and I have it as a reference. Speaking of doctor, I do like to keep track of my doctor visits, and this is the section where I write out my date, time, doc, reason, notes, etc. Things like that you want to keep track of. Because if you're seeing a lot of doctors, it's kind of hard sometimes to keep all that information in your head. And then I want to, let's say I want to start up a YouTube channel and I want to track some YouTube. I want to keep track of YouTube video ideas, YouTube metrics, TikTok, Instagram, social media. So I had a section in my planner called Creator. So this is the Creator section where you can do YouTube and all those things. And I have the little tab right here that says Creator Life. One thing I want to show you is the doctor's appointment tracker and how I did it. So this is the doctor appointment tracker that I made for myself. This is just a blank paper appointment tracker, date, doctor, reason for visit, questions, visit notes, and basically this is it. These are the information that I need under my appointment tracker, so I can refer back to it. That's, yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Love you.
Love you too.
Keep the door open. And then I have creator section, and then you can list what you want to have in your creator section. So you want to have YouTube ideas, follower tracker. I don't want to speed this video up and do a voiceover, so it may be a little bit slow for me writing. And so after the creator, oh wait, I forgot. Let's say you just remembered something. I want to track my work schedule. Maybe you are like a shift worker and your schedule changes from week to week, and I want to keep track of that. If you have the same schedule, there's absolutely no need to keep that in there. That's just a waste of page. Maybe I would like some pages for notes. And let's see, maybe like an inbox section. And the inbox section is going to serve to put sticky notes with little to-dos and little notes and stuff like that. And then I know I need a weekly, daily section, because this is where you're going to do all your plans. And let's say you want to garden. You want to garden this year, and I want to do some gardening. I'm new to gardening and I need to do research, keep track of what I'm planting and things like that. All right, so gardening. And there are a ton of things you can have in your notebook. If you look up what to put in a bullet journal, there's 1,000,001 things, and a lot of it is very excessive and you may not use it. So I would suggest brainstorming what you want to do first before you watch those videos. If you watch a video that gives you ideas of what you can have in your notebook and you want to add things based on their recommendation, do it, but try to use it so it makes sense. You know, a lot of it seems like a good idea, but a lot of times we don't end up really using it. So that's the first thing. Write down all the sections that you want in your notebook. And then we're going to categorize it and figure out how many pages do we need for each of these things that we need to have. Because it is a bound book. We can't just open the rings and put the inserts wherever we want. We have to do it strategically. And this is how you're going to do it the best way. So for future log, how many pages do I want? So what I like to do when I'm setting up a planner, I like to have a little divider in between sections, because I want to have a section that is going to differentiate the sections. So like this separates these sections. Let me cover this. Home sweet home. I have this little thing here, and then I didn't have for finance. So for creator life, add some personal info there. But I had like a creator dashboard. I had pictures here. And then the daily plans section. This is what I had for daily plans. And this is something I made on Canva. So the way how you can add something to separate the section is by tipping it in. It's basically having a dashboard that is the same size as the notebook. I always cut it a little bit smaller because of the spine, and you put a thin piece of paper in the crease and it just locks it in. I'm going to show you how at the end. And or you can take a paper, the dashboard that you want, and glue it directly on a paper in the notebook. So depending on what you want to do, like see, I had this movie tracker and I never used it. It was a waste. This is my setup brainstorm for my 2023 planner. So this is a Stylogy, by the way. It's up to you, however you want to divide the section. You may not want to divide it, and that's fine. The reason why I showed you those two options is you're going to, if you're going to utilize, take up one of the page in the actual notebook to glue something down and make a divider, you're going to have to account for that one page. So that's the reason, that's the importance of it. If not, then you can just add a paper in just like this. So that's up to you. So we're going to move on and talk about the setup and the pages in between. I'm going to show you how to plan for either tipping it in or gluing it down a divider if you need. And it's good to have different sections. I love it. So for future log, I know that I need at least 2 pages for this. So for everything that you wrote, you need to write down the amount of pages you need for it, because this is going to help us to go through the notebook and write where everything is going to be. The kids' notes, you can do 4. Let's just say you have a lot of stuff going on with your kids and you need a lot of pages for that. Parent-teacher conference notes and stuff like that, they have like what, 2 or 3 per year. I've gone through, I have 2 kids and 2 pages work for me. You can just do 4 or 2 or 3, however you want. I like to do even numbers. Even if I have 4 and I only use 3, I'm not losing out on the space. But this is just to give you like an idea of what you're going to be setting up. A master grocery list, maybe that's 4 pages if you want to do one for like dairy, produce, meats, and dry goods. Or you can put it all together. It's however you want. Future projects, new house, I may do a lot of things, 8 pages. Bills, no more than 2. Savings tracker, maybe 2. Debt tracker, 2. Self-care list, 2. Symptoms tracker, maybe for me, I need a lot of pages for that. I put 8. Doctor visits, if you want to keep track of your doctor visits, maybe, like for me, I do like 10 pages because I go to the doctor a lot. Sorry for the shaking. So creator section, I want to have my YouTube ideas, maybe 2 pages, 2, 4. So 2, 4, and other things that could go under creator. We're going to give ourselves some pages so we can fully utilize the section and plan 10 pages. Work schedule, we're going to do 4 just in case you're writing on your schedule weekly. Notes pages, we're going to do 4. Brain dump. Inbox, no more than 1 or 2. Weekly, daily is the remainder of the notebook, so there is no number here. And the garden section, we need pages to write notes. We need pages to write things I want to plant. Make a plan of your layout, track your seeds and stuff like that. So this is everything that we need and the pages that we need. Once I have this, I always use another line column to kind of figure out the order of how everything is going to be. So this doesn't have a line. This doesn't have a line. I'm just trying to make sure these are in a row. I'm gonna just make sure you guys were seeing what I'm writing this whole time. Yes. Okay, so I'm just making them match up because here we're going to put the order of how everything is going to be. It does look a little bit chicken scratchy, but it's going to work. You can make yours neat. Write it over when you're done. Like when I'm done with this, I usually write mine over so it's a lot neater. All right, so what's going to go first? The first thing I need, I want to have my future log in the front. The future log is going to be the main because it's important. The things I use the most, I go to the most. The future log, I want that up front. I want my inbox to go up in the front part. Maybe my work schedule because that's something I want to use a lot. Notes pages, I'm gonna put that after. Um, Everything else is just categorized, so we can start with the home section and categorize this and put these in order. So after the notes pages, this is where I'm going to start the stuff for home. So I'll just do the kids first, and then after the kids I'm going to do the future projects, so that's going to be 6. And after future projects we're going to do grocery list 7. And I forgot to add like a meal idea list. You can add that in, but this is going to be the same concept. Just throw it in. After grocery list, I'm going to throw in the garden, so that's going to be 8. And then after garden, we can go into the next section, which can be finance. So you're going to do bills. It's going to be 9. Debt is 10. Savings 11. And then we're going to have, after debt, self-care is going to be 12. And my symptoms is going to be 13. And then my doctor visit stuff is going to be 14. The creator is 15. And weekly daily is 16. So this is the order of how I want my notebook to be laid out. Second, that's the first step. Second step, and then third step is just putting it all in the planner. So when I first open my notebook, this section I always kind of glue it together. Not glue it together. This is not what I glue together. Disregard that. So this section, I like to create a pocket. So for the pocket, you can cut a piece of cardstock paper, or if you have acetate, and you just fold it. You tape this side and the bottom, double-sided tape, and then you can stick like stickers or papers, receipts and stuff. You have a little pocket for your notebook, especially if your notebook doesn't come with pockets. And you can do the same thing for the back, but this will be turned this way. You got the concept? I could do a quick shorts if you want to learn how to make that, but it's pretty simple. You cut a triangle and you basically glue it here and here. Take this page to be creative. You know, I'm going to put pocket for here. For the entire layout, I'm planning it. This section, I'm going to do a pocket. This one, I'm just going to be creative. Maybe I want to put some stickers, make it a washi thing, whatever you want to do. You do that to this page. Change the order if you want. So because this first page of the notebook is usually partially stuck to this part on a lot of notebooks, almost all, I like to glue these together because this doesn't really serve a purpose, because if you fold it down it stops here. So this is the throwaway page. I always glue these 2 pages together. It's not functional at all. So being that I'm gluing these 2 together, that's how this section is going to be. Then now you can start to put your layout. Let's just say I forgot to add goals. So because a lot of us have goals for the year or intentions, I didn't write it on my list, but I'm gonna just write it here for all the people who want to work on goals in 2023. So I put the 2 arrows here. So when I'm planning, I know that when I'm doing my setup, I know that the goals are going to go here and the goals are going to go here. So then we can go into the future log. I don't really divide up these front pages of the notebook. But let's just say you wanted to make a dashboard that says future log. So you're going to have to determine whether or not you want to start on this page, or if you want to start on this page. So let's say if you wanted the goals to be here and you want to glue down a dashboard for future log, you can glue it down here, but then your future log will start here. If you wanted to have your future log open, like how I showed you mine, you're gonna have to make the goals end here. It's gonna be 3 pages. You have to make it an odd number. So if you want to glue down a dashboard to start a new section, you just have to make it an odd number. So the goals are gonna be here, here, and here, and then on here we're going to glue down dash for future log. And this is gonna guide you. It seems like a lot of work, but it's actually not. So glue down your dashboard here, okay? And that's how you basically start it. Some of the things, it's more functional to have it start left and right versus starting just on the right and moving over. So we're gonna glue down here future log, and then here we're gonna have our future log. So future log, we decided 2 pages. So you're gonna write future log. I'll just do L, not Florida. When I write fast, I write really bad. That's why I don't write fast. So future log is gonna go here and here. So this is, I'll put a check. So the second thing we had was the inbox. You can move your inbox to the front if you want. So the inbox, we're going to make it a little bit thick, because if you have a thin paper notebook like a Stalogy, a Wonderland, or the R. Estelle, the Sterling ink, those pages, the paper are very thin. They're like the Tomoe River paper, and they're not the thickest. So you see that I put the post-it notes here, and this is what it does to the page. When you're removing it, you just have to be very delicate, and it will go back to being flat. But once you put something sticky on it, the paper kind of molds itself around the sticky part. So what I like to do, I like to glue down like a piece of cardstock here, and then I can write an inbox, and then you can like keep a couple sticky notes in the section. Make it decorative and call that your inbox. So this is going to be my inbox here, and I'm going to do it on the next side as well. So it's going to be inbox here and here. What's going to determine like where you stop for each section is if you want to add a dashboard. That's basically what it's determined by. So inbox is done, and then we're going to have work schedule. We're going to have work schedule for 4 pages, and I'm going to write 4 so I know that the next 2 pages after these are going for work schedule. So 1, 2, 3, 4 work schedule, and then the next I'm going to have note pages, and it's 4. So I know the next 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4 notes. I'll just do this better. Like I said, you're gonna write it over, so it's gonna look neater. So after notes, number 4, the 5th thing is the home section. So the home section, I actually want to start with a divider there. So I can either tip in a divider here, a little thin vellum, decorative vellum, you tip it in here, or you can glue down a dashboard on top of the paper. So if you're going to glue down, you're going to glue it on this side, or you can glue it on this side it depends on if you want to start your notes pages left and right. To me, any section that I start, I like to start it with a left and a right. Or you can start it with just the right. It's totally up to you. But for the sake of this, we're going to start it. Actually, I forgot to skip the notes page. We're going to start by putting on 2 pages, left and right. So right here, I'm going to utilize this. Oh, and what's going to happen is 1, 2, 3, 4. The notes page section that we had 4 pages is going to turn into 5 because we need this extra space to add the dashboard. So it's just going to be home dash. I hope this is not confusing. Please let me know. I'll delete it if it is. So home dashboard is going to be glued down. So, and then we're going to have the home section. The first thing in the home was kids. And we said we needed 4 pages. So we put 4. And then after kids, we had projects. And projects was 8 pages. So 8, put it down, 1, 2, gently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And after projects was master grocery list. And for the master grocery list, we have 4. This is a very creative process. It is actually fun. I love doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go here. So, sorry, my head keeps bumping. After grocery lists was 7. Then we have number 8, the gardening section, and 8 pages. So we're going to count. It's just the same process. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then number 9 was the bill section. And we can do this as a finance section. So we're going to use this to finance dashboard. So let's say we wanted to tip this in. The finance the finance dashboard will be here. So your finance section will start here. So maybe you have the tip in here, which is like a decorative sheet. And maybe because you want your bills open from left to right, you want the whole overview, what you can do here is you can glue down, like make it a decorative page, decorate it, write finance quotes or whatever it is. You can be creative with this page in order to start your bill tracker here. Understand? So finance dashboard, and here we're just gonna do create something. And this way we can start our bill tracker on these 2 pages. I like even numbers because it's just better. So bill tracker, number 10 was debt. And debt we had 2. I'm crossing them off as I go to keep track. And then after debt tracker, we had savings tracker at 2. And feel free to add more pages in between if you want. After savings was, what number was that up to? 11, 12. Okay, so now it goes into self-care. So what you can do, let's say after you're done with the section and you're going to start another section, I want to give myself some extra pages just to make sure that in case anything comes up finance-wise, I'm prepared for it. So you just add a couple pages and then you make your next section a few pages later. That's it. So this is going to be the self-care. So I'm going to put a self-care dash in the crease. I don't know how to spell crease. And then this is going to tell me like what I'm going to do here. And then here I'm going to be creative. Something creative for self-care. Make it beautiful, you know. And then I'm going to write my lists of self-care things that I love, which is going to be 2 pages. And then my symptoms tracker is going to be 8 pages. I group 1, 2 symptoms. I group self-care and health in the same. because it goes hand in hand. You know, your health is a very important part of your self-care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then symptoms. No, that was symptoms. That was 13. 14 is doc visits, and we have 14 of those because we've got a lot going on. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. I'm not speeding this video up. You're gonna suffer through with me. And then 15 was the creator section. So creator, we're gonna glue down a dashboard here for creator. And then here is this gonna be the creator section. 10 pages, however you want to do it. But we're starting on 1 page, so we're gonna have to end our creator section is maybe gonna be 11 pages. So 10 pages for creator. Let me cross off creator. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is where creator will end. And then after creator, we had the weekly daily. So basically, the remainder of the pages are going to be for your plans. So let's give ourselves some extra pages. We want to be, just in case we want to add a section later on. I accidentally wrote there. Let's say we want to add a section later on. Let's keep 1, 2. Let's do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You will still have enough plans pages for the week. So we just left 10 extra pages here, and that is going to help us to, if we need more pages in the future to add a separate section, it's here. And then we're going to start our 2023 week, daily, and monthly. I do a monthly spread right before I start in each. So this is where it starts. Page 94 is going to be utilized because I'm going to glue down dash. And then these first 2 pages are going to be my January monthly calendar. And then after that, I'm going to do either a weekly spread or daily spread. So to determine how, if you can do daily, if you're a daily person, this is 94 pages, right? So this is page 94. I don't have my calculator with me, so I'm gonna have to do long subtraction. So we have 365 pages. If we basically took away 94 pages, so that's 1, that's 5, and that's 2. So we have 251 pages to plan daily and weekly. This is pretty good. So let's just say you want to do weekly planning. Is going to be 2 pages per week, 52 weeks. So 52 times 2 is 104. And then you want to have 2 pages each, 2 page each month for your, for your monthly spread. So that's going to be 24 page. So we're going to have 8 to 128 pages you're going to take up just from basic planning your daily, your weekly, and your monthly spread. So 128. I'm doing the math because I want you to see how much you can fit into the planner. 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 3 to, you have 123 pages left to journal, brain dump, make lists, do some daily spreads. This is enough. You can use it for the year. If you write a lot, max it all out, do the same thing in a new planner. So that's how you do it. And then once you're done putting everything in, you're going to set this up post-it note by post-it note to not overwhelm yourself. That's the last step. I work on each section at a time. It's such a creative process for me, and I absolutely love doing it. It takes a lot of my time, but it's also very therapeutic for me, so I actually don't mind. and you do it section by section. If you need ideas on like how to write headings, just Google it. Pinterest has a lot of ideas. There are a lot of, okay, I say Pinterest because one thing I find with using a notebook and like the bullet journal community and things, when you Google bullet journal, YouTube, look for bullet journal videos on YouTube, it's very scary. You have Picasso's on here and all these famous painters and artists, and it's like, it's intimidating, but it doesn't have to be that. There's nothing like that in my planner. These are just things that I tuck in here and there. Look, this is paper I glued down. Don't feel intimidated. You know, you're gonna make it how you want to make it, and it's gonna work for you. This is Go Wild section. So let's do one quick tip-in, and then that's it. Oh, and I have to tell you what the giveaway is. Okay, so let's just say this is what we wanted to put in our notebook. Let's just say this was a pretty dashboard and it had a flower. Remember, you can either tip it in or glue it down. The dashboard may or may not be the size of your paper, and that's fine. That's why we have scissors and paper cutters. So I was going to a section where we had glued down. So let's say we wanted to glue this down. All you have to do is kind of line it up. This is not the same size, so I'm just gonna mark like where the top is so I can cut it. So mine is never 100%, but it just blends, doesn't really look bad. So that's where my top is. I'm gonna use my tiny paper trimmer that I got from Michael's. I've never used it before. And then you just trim it up to fit. This thing is so tiny. I may need a bigger. No. Okay, so let me line it up. And then I'm gonna, okay, I was gonna say, please don't let me down, Michaels. All right, it cut. Not the best, but we're not you know, reaching for perfection. It's just to show you. All right, height is good. Width, not so much. Let me just put this in here and kind of see how much I need to cut off and where the markings are. You can do it like this. You can measure the paper and do it that way if you want. I like to cut a little bit in, so it stops here, but when you put something in here, it may line up, but once you close the notebook, it's gonna push it more, so it's gonna be a little bit off the edge. So I like to go in oh, this is too small. I'm just gonna use scissors because we're just doing an example. All right, so that's my line, and I'm gonna cut it under. I'm using the numbers as a guide, so I'm cutting it behind the numbers, and you can see it's not straight, which is fine because it's an example. But if you're putting it in your planner, put some effort to make it straight. That's the least you can do. All right, so here we are. We have our paper. So one thing that I specifically do, a lot of the videos, well, a few videos I saw where the person tipped it in, they use Scotch tape because it's clear, but I like to use white tape. Sorry for the shakiness, because it kind of blends more. I don't like the Scotch tape. I prefer using white washi tape, and this is MT brand. I get it on Amazon. They also sell it in some stationery stores. So what I do is I don't use I think this is too thick to put in here. So I'm gonna put the tape down on the paper as close to the edge, but making sure that it's covering a good part of it so it doesn't lift up. So each one of these is gonna give me 2 tape to tip in 2 items basically. And then I'm gonna cut here at the top and here at the bottom. I'm usually doing this on my mat, which is a surface where I can cut, but my mat is far and I'm just going to use what I have. Then it's hard to cut tape with scissors, so I always have my X-Acto knife and I just cut it half the washi tape basically. I haven't seen anyone do theirs like this, but I do it with mine. All right, so we have our notebook, we have our dashboard. The tape is going to be straight. You want to flip the tape down and kind of bend it a little bit. And for this, you're going to need a ruler. And I can't find mine. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to line it up. Make sure that it's at the edge. You want to make sure. Oh, and one thing, when you're adding your dashboard to your notebooks, a lot of notebooks are rounded. So you want to get yourself one of these things to round the edges, so it lines up a little bit more professional looking. You see, this corner is a little bit too wide, but you get the idea. Line it up, and you're going to use your ruler and just use the ruler to crease it in the middle. Like I said, I don't know where my ruler is because my daughter uses everything that I have. And it's in. Where did I put it? Let's find it. I can't find it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's not overlapping and it's not in the wrong way. It's right here. So now I have this dashboard. I can now put a little tab here and use this as a divider for the section. Let me get a little tab to show you. Right, so here we have the tabs. I'm just pretending this is a tab. And we have a tab. Voila! Sections. So how is that? How was this video? Please tell me. So if you stuck around this long, you want to hear about the giveaway, or you maybe just scroll to the end. I didn't announce the giveaway in the beginning because only the ones that really need this information I want to give this giveaway to. So for the giveaway, I'm giving away a Stalogy. I think the Stalogy is awesome because it's 365 pages. And even though I tried to use other notebooks like the Hemlock and Oak, in my last video I said that's what I'm going to use, but honestly I can't use that notebook. It's already very thick and I just can't. So this is going to be the giveaway prize. This notebook and this organizer from Simply Gilded. This is going to hold your stickers, your dashboards, and whatever you want to put in it. You're going to win both of these. And to enter, you know, if you want to leave a comment or question, leave your comment or question and put I love Stalogy. Or if you don't have a comment or a question and you just want to enter, put I love Stalogy. Must be a subscriber, duh. And I will select a winner. So thank you for watching this video. It's very long, but I hope it was helpful, and let me know your thoughts. All right, this is the longest video I've ever made in my life, so I'm done talking. I've talked. My lips are dry. My throat is hurting. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your continued support. I wish you all the best in your setups for your new notebook that you're going to have for 2023, and it's going to be awesome. Bye.